Beautiful souls, welcome back or welcome to The Hawk and I. My name is Lana Zelinsky and I work in spirit dimensions. As always, in all my videos or live feeds, simply take what resonates and you're welcome to leave the rest here. Good morning, Erin. Hi there. It's nice to see you this morning. Wow, I'm a little bit surprised on how long I slept this morning. I actually slept till 10 o'clock, and that is extremely unusual for me. I'm usually up at the crack of dawn. For whatever reason, my body needed a good night long sleep. That time change does impact me. So that's probably a big part of it. So I'm not, and maybe it's the Sunday. I don't know what it is, but there's just something about the lazy energy today and the need for rest. And I just trusted it. When I got out of bed, I thought, oh, wow, here we are a little bit late, but it's all good. I just kind of trust the energy and need what I needed to do. And good grief. Hello. Good morning. Hi there, Fran. Good to see everybody. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. It's good to see you. I am channeling the energy update for the week because I'm not quite sure what is going to be happening this week. So I will probably be here on Friday. Monday, I'm definitely not here, but we are going to do the energy update for the week. If I happen to be able to come on Wednesday, I definitely will. So this week, we are in a big space of get out of your head and into your heart, is what Spirit said to me. There's going to be a big, little bit of static with overthinking coming in this week. And it's literally pushing us into more and more of that go with the flow. Now, there's a little bit of maybe you guys are feeling a little bit of uncertain energy. Maybe you're kind of like, I don't know how this is going to work out. I don't know where I'm going. There's a powerful transformation energy that's coming in, and alignment is going to feel very strong this week. It's going to feel like this huge back into alignment. I go and exploring new things. We're coming into a powerful new beginning or new things coming our way. And when we kind of feel that coming in, when we feel like, oh, things are changing, oh, things are shifting, oh, there's something unknown here, it's coming back to your heart space, coming back into that trust, coming back into that space of, I'm going to land where I need to land. Now, Spirit said something to me very interesting this morning, and I'm going to give it to you exactly how Spirit gave it to me. No micromanaging yourself. Try not to micromanage everything that you're doing. Try not to be so controlling. Try not to micromanage all the little details. It's going to be a great week of just allowing. It's and be just be what it is. Just be what you're feeling. Just be what's coming up back into that heart space. Last week was a lot of emotions. Last week was a lot of some tears. Some of us were expressing, just having that those bursts of emotions. That's a big release, and we're coming into a little bit more of that as we kind of work into this new beginning space and going with the flow space. There is a lot of letting go that we are going to be continuing to feel back into your heart, back into that allowing space. Try not to micromanage, try not to overthink it, try to just more go with the flow. And it was really interesting because when I was channeling this, I was like, okay, that's why I'm not sure what's going to be happening next week. It's that whole go with the flow kind of energy. It's that space that we need to get into. And then what happens is we start to overthink. We start to overthink. We start to overthink, and then we want to micromanage it because we do want to have control. And control is a big piece for most of us. Most of us want to control everything. And our spirit guides, the energy is saying, no, you don't. No, you don't. Just allow. Just come back into that alignment space. Just kind of like shrugging that off. It feels so good to let go. It feels so good to allow. And I always say, even when I kind of resist myself, I kind of say, I need to learn this anyway, or I need to go through this anyway, or the change needs to come anyway. I might as well just allow it. Now, I don't feel that there's a heavy energy. It feels quite light, to be honest with you. It feels very, very light. Now, if you kind of struggle a little bit with allowing control, I'm going to give you a little exercise that kind of just helps. It's like a crisscross of your heart. So I like to go from one shoulder over the next, one shoulder over the next, and I kind of crisscross into that heart space. And that kind of for me is very symbolic of just allowing, just kind of moving energy from what I'm carrying, because we often carry things across our shoulders, or that concern across our shoulders, and we do push it into our heart space. So if you need something to help you, if you need that, how do I get back into my heart space? Just try that crisscross. crisscross, and it will help remind you, it'll help get you into that space. And doing something physical like that does move us out of our heads, right? It just takes away the thought process. And then if you feel like you need to continue to push the energy down, I just like to kind of like wipe it off, right? I'm just going to wipe it off, crisscross into my heart space, allowing that space to grow and allowing that space to become more expansive. Now, with this energy coming in, there's also a bit of a scattered feeling. So you may feel a little bit scattered, and things may be feeling scattered, or you maybe feel I'm not grounded in all this. You may be feeling like I need to ground myself. Or and sometimes when we feel scattered, we kind of feel a little bit, am I safe here? So with that feeling, if you start to have that come up for you next week, get yourself outside, get yourself grounded, reminding yourself, I'm here right now, I'm good. Because when we get into our head, when we get into that space of overthinking things, we start to pull in all kinds of things that we don't want. And then it starts to feel a little bit of a safety issue, right? So just kind of get yourself grounded. We're good. We just need to allow, we just need to have fun with it. We just need to shift a little bit. And again, it doesn't feel like anything major. It just feels like this big shift into new beginnings, and when you think about, we are coming into the spring, although here today you might question that because we did wake up here in Kitchener with a dusting of snow. When you think about new beginnings and you think about the cycle of nature and you think about regrowth and rebirth and planting new seeds, we are coming into that space and we do feel it as humans too. We do feel that desire of new things coming in, new beginnings, fresh starts, having that time. I will be scrolling up into the question section this morning. Some of you I know follow me on a few different platforms, and if you were on the Facebook Live this morning, or sorry, if you were on Facebook Live last night, or if you checked my page last night or this morning, I did make a beautiful announcement that I will share here for those of you who may not follow me there, or who may not have seen it yet. Um, Many years ago, I took a huge leap of faith and stepped into my mediumship full on. Most of you know I kept it very quiet for a very long time, kind of behind closed doors for readings. If you knew what I did. Um, and that leap of faith has taken me in so many amazing directions. I was honored with an award. I was honored with the Canadian Choice Award under the category of wellness. And I spent a good couple days kind of processing that because it is a huge accomplishment. I've always done my best. My goal has not, and I said this last night, my goal hasn't been to be the best. My goal has always been to do my best. And Spirit had asked me several years ago, and I've talked about it here as well on the channel, to just be their voice, to just show the world or show people or show communities um, what spirit is, and to land in a category of wellness really hit me with so much emotions, so many feelings of that shift into spirituality, changing, no longer, with, peeling off those labels, peeling off the whole crazy piece, with what I do, and seeing that shift is not just so important to me, but it was so powerful for other mediums, for other healers, for other light workers, if for mediums that are going to come from behind me, new people stepping into their power, to have it acknowledged under the category of wellness was just so profound. And I'm just so honored and just so proud of Spirit and of all of you, and to have such a deep acknowledgement. I'll be honest, there are, not that I really care what people think, but it's a hard one to carry. It's a hard, label to carry, the whole crazy piece, even though I don't care. There's still a little bit of weight to that. People are accepting, people are having a look, and people are feeling into, and it's all spirit. I just show up, right? It's all spirit. Yes, I work on my connection, and I do the work, but it's truly all them. um and I think with, bringing in integrity, like all things in life, I mean, there's the good, the bad, and the ugly in all occupations, right? Like, I mean, there's good healthcare workers and there's not great healthcare workers. There's good lawyers and not good lawyers. You know what I mean? Like, there's that across the board anyway. But to have what I do, and have, the healing or the healers have that acknowledged as wellness, it just really took my breath away with so much honor. I thank each and every one of you for always cheering for me, for being there for me, for holding me, for coming together as a community because you know we did it. We shifted that. We embraced that. It's all about us. It's all about the community and the collective and that power of one. And it's just so huge. And when you see such a shift, for me, it lightened me up so much to have to see that, right? And because it is so profound. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. Doing what I do would get you in trouble. It would get you in trouble. um, some mediums, lost their life for what they did, in certain points in history. Thank you for cheering for me. Thank you for being such an amazing part of this community, and I'm looking forward to the next steps with what I do. And the continued growth here with the Hawk and I. And again, thank you. Let us scroll up. Let us scroll up and take some questions here. Really had a okay. Here we are, Aaron. I've had a really rough week, so rest is definitely the word, and allowing that rest to come in. I mean, sometimes we push against that. There's so much we could be doing. Allow that rest to come in this week, Aaron. And I've talked about this before. It should be our self care should be part of our calendars. It literally should be in there. It's good to see so many of you coming and joining me here this morning. Oh no, I overthink everything already. Aaron, most of us do. Like let's be honest, most of us do, and it's hard to kind of break that habit. I still myself have to when I get in there, I have to I sit myself down and I say, okay, what are we doing, right? It's being able to get out of it. It's not so much not doing it. Sometimes because it's natural, and sometimes we do need to sit with what we're overthinking. But it's about being able to get out of it. So that is the biggest thing that I can give you, Aaron, is just to find a moment when you catch yourself overthinking to sit down with it, to rest with it, to nurture it, and to being able to figure out why am I overthinking it. Right. Sometimes our overthinking can give us a clue as to what's going on within us ourselves. So looking at it from a little bit of a loving perspective, what am I learning right now? Right. It just shifts that feeling a little bit. Spotty, if you do questions, I want to ask Spirit if I'm going in the right direction. As you're asking that, I can see a light at your feet. I can see it's actually like a very old lantern, one that you may have seen like hundreds of years ago. I can see that lantern being shone at your feet. You are going in the right direction. Now, going in the right direction doesn't mean that things are not going to shift. Things will always unravel as they need to. I always believe that we are going in the right way, even when things may not work out in that direction. It's stepping stones. So when things don't work out, it's not that you were going in the wrong direction. It means that there was something in that direction that you needed to learn. Even when we have I'm going this way, and then there's a sudden sharp turn. It wasn't that this part was the wrong direction. It was that this part was teaching you something that you needed to know. Right. Now, sometimes do we take our time? Right. Yeah, we do. And sometimes we think, why didn't I make that change last year when I knew I needed to? When we're not ready, we're not ready, and it's okay, right? We beat ourselves up way too much with I should have did that before I knew. Yeah, you did. Maybe you didn't know, but you were doing the best that you could from where you were standing. And when you're ready, right? So, and I always do that self talk with Spirit. Okay, I'm ready to be ready. I'm ready to be ready, and that kind of helps lift that when it's time to go in that shift. But I do believe, Spotty, that you are going in the right direction. I feel that we all are. There's just stuff to learn when things suddenly turn. We often have this fear of learning lessons, and I get it. Nobody likes to learn the hard stuff. The easy stuff is great. The hard stuff we struggle with. And embrace the lessons, embrace the learning. I'm here right now learning this. Yes, it's hard. Yes, I don't know what I'm doing. None of us do. None of us do, truly, right? So I really feel we have to kind of embrace the learning, even when it's hard. All right. Yes, lots of uncertainty. Yes, Tamers, absolutely there is. Way too much in my head. Julie, give that a try this week. Just give that a try, that crisscross, and just it may help shift you into that heart space. I bring everything to the heart space. I really do. I bring it, I bring it into that space where I can hear without my head, and that helps me huge. And sometimes the heart and the head are completely in collaboration with each other. Sometimes the information in the head is the accurate information. I will double check it or cross check it, cross check it with my heart. I always come into that space, and it will always take you where you need to go. Many of you agreeing here with the uncertain energy. Easy Puff, good morning. I'm so glad I caught the live. We're so glad to have you here. Um, Cheyenne, last night I randomly thought about me struggling so much the past week. I got the random thought, what if I react to my struggles the way I would with a friend? And absolutely, and we talked about that a little bit last week. I remember giving someone or giving advice. Talk to yourself like you would talk to your bestie. What would you say to someone, right? How would you respond to them? Giving yourself that same love, that same support, those same kind words. Giving yourself that energy, and it may feel weird in the beginning, but if you sit yourself down and say, "Okay, Lana, I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you," and giving yourself that advice, it will feel really weird in the beginning, but when you shift into that, when you kind of give yourself that same TLC, that same kind words, that same emotional support, be your own emotional support person, right? It's sit yourself down, sit yourself down and say, "Okay, Lan, I got to talk to you." It will feel weird. It'll feel, well, I'm talking to myself like a third person. Yeah, perhaps it will. But you will, as you do that more and more, it will become like a natural instinct. It's okay, Lana, you tripped and fell. Get yourself up, dust yourself off, try again. Right. You see how that will shift. We are so brutally hard on ourselves for any of the lessons that we learn or any of the things that may not go our way. And with that micromanaging, that's the thing. We micromanage so much ourselves that as soon as we don't do well, or we perceive that we did something wrong, then we start to be really hard on ourselves and micromanage ourselves. Fran, no micromanaging. You so funny. Fran, does that resonate with you? Feel into that, Miss Fran. Don't micromanage yourself. Um, Hi, Lana. I'm happy to be able to be in Yucatan's area soon, connecting with ancestral lineage. I feel some activation will happen there. Oh, that is delicious. I love how you worded that. I love how you worded that. Activation will happen. I would agree. Really tap into that energy there. Really kind of take, and this is what I see that I need to suggest to you is just take a moment and close your eyes often and just kind of breathe in and feel. Just kind of breathe in and feel. So funny because I say to take care of yourself that way when you do with those who love, but I never considered it in a manner for some reason. It's okay, Shy. Sometimes we don't look at ourselves the same way as we look at other people, or we don't talk to ourselves the same way. Don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you, Tamers. I appreciate that. I'm very grateful. Um, Fran's laughing a lot at me today. That's good, Fran. Laughter is a good thing. Sometimes when we laugh at somebody else, we're laughing at ourselves too. There you go. For me, thinking of going to my inner child helps to move to my heart space because she lives there. That is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful suggestion. Thank you, Shy. Question: can you feel into my kitty with the skin issue to see if it's getting better? Because I think I in man have found what she's missing, and I changed her diet. I do feel like you're on your way with that. With that improvement. I do feel there's another slight tweak there. I don't. I feel like there may be another food change or something that you're added with. I can see a little sprinkle of some kind of supplement. I do feel like you're well on your way with that. And I do feel that the cat will be improving. Maruna, do you see a job in the near future for me? I just applied for one. I'm a little anxious for this change. Maruna, I'd like you to just kind of be open to receive what you're supposed to get, and continue to believe in yourself. I feel like I've got to pump up your worthiness. You are worthy of great things. You are worthy of a new job. You are worthy. I feel like I've got to get you into more of a space of opening new doors. If that door doesn't open, I'm okay with that. If that door doesn't open, I'm okay with that. I do feel that things are going to work out. I do feel that you're going to get a job, but I feel like I've got to work on your alignment. what we believe can can really hold things back. If you keep saying, I don't think I'm getting it, I don't think I'm getting it, I don't think I'm getting it, that's the energy that you're putting out there, right? So when you shift that, if this is the right space for me, I'm open. And if it's not the right space for me, I'm good with that too. I'm always good with not what with what I'm not supposed to do, or what's not for my best. And I think most of us do. If I was to say to you, do you want this job, or do you want this relationship, or do you want this in your life, but it's really not good for you, it's not gonna be good for you. You would say, oh heck, then I really don't want it. I always ask, and I'm always so open, and I'm always, so whatever I'm meant to learn, whatever door I'm meant to open up, I'm good with that. Right. So it just helps energetically, because we can pinch ourselves off by the energy that we put out. It's huge. If you believe in manifesting, if you believe in energy, then this is part of that you have got to tap into and acknowledge as well. The energy that we're adding to the recipe. Right. All right. Um, Tamara, I think I'll need to set alarms to remind me to do this, but is that micromanaging myself? No, I think, setting an alarm, and that's actually a good thing. It's a reminder. So look at it as a reminder, and is I'm at every, and that's how I initially started with my own spiritual practice. Was I initially started putting it right in my calendar, and it wasn't to micromanage myself. It was more of a reminder. Hey, you know what? You need to sit down too. Hey, you work on some healing too. Hey, you need to breathe. It's to set that reminder so we don't get so robotic. So if that works for you to get you to a space into self care, you may only need to set an alarm a couple times, and then you'll be like, okay, this is where I am at today. This is what I need to do for myself. I don't think of that as micromanaging. I think that it's more building yourself a practice, more building yourself that space. Um, some of us need an alarm or need a reminder, and there's nothing wrong with that. And then once you get in a routine, once oh yeah, I gotta remember to ground myself today. Oh yeah, I gotta remember to bubble myself. Oh yeah, it will become more of a natural thing. When you think about how many years you've lived, how long you've been on this journey, and when you think about perhaps some of this is new to you, it's we really lean into either old thoughts or old patterns or old routines, and we need to be reminded sometimes. Cameras, I really don't think that that's micromanaging. I think that that's just learning something new and giving yourself a loving reminder. Um, all right, so I hope that answers your question there. I missed it because it was 2 a.m. and I was trying to sleep. Oh, that's the Facebook Live. That's okay, Shy. The reason that I shared it first on the Facebook platform is when I first started my mediumship. Facebook was the first platform that I opened up to. That was the space. That was my safe space. That was the space where I started to grow things. So that's okay. Thank you very much for all your congratulations. So I see your love, and I feel your love so much, you guys. Thank you so much. Then I'd say it's proper management, not micro. I absolutely. Absolutely. And sometimes we just need to be reminded, right? Sometimes we just need to be reminded, and to be able to set new habits and new patterns for ourselves. We are creatures of habit, right? Like, I mean, that old saying is so true. We are creatures of habit. So to be able to change those habits, we sometimes need to support ourselves in that. It's like when we decide that we're going to start eating better, we go to the store and fill the fridge with something different to eat. It's the same thing for us. We got to put it in our calendar, to be able to change how we're feeling, or be able to change, when can I meditate? We need it's not it's more being able to change the habit. um so this is a great conversation, by the way, you guys. um There's definitely a shift of people accepting spirit lately. Absolutely, Jules, and it's delicious. It's absolutely delicious. I also feel like with that shift, there's such a big shift of authentic energy, right? There's just being so authentic, and tapping into that energy is huge, and it's so healing. And many people have been on a healing journey for the last several years. We have been more and more into that. Wellness is such a great acknowledgement. Thank you very much. Absolutely. Um, my spirit guide is also happy for you. He's running around here waving flags and celebrating. Thank you. Thank you. A rise in Phoenix. I was adopted, so my childhood home is the only place that felt safe. And like home, my inner child dreams of my son's experience. This this home someday? Do the spirits see this happening or see it sold? That's a bit of a hard one, a Rising Phoenix, to tap into, and I'll tell you why. There's a lot of choice around that decision. There's lots of choice. I feel though that one thing that you can lean into is you can create that same feeling no matter where you live. And I get the energy and the attachment to that space. But one thing that you have learned is how to create such a beautiful space anywhere that you live. And I feel like I've got to kind of lean you into that. If the home does sell, you can create that feeling anywhere. The physical world is very much physical, but the energetic world and the spirit dimensions is very much fluid. So you can bring that feeling, you can bring that energy, you can bring the essence of that home anywhere you go. So just kind of lean into that a little bit more on bringing that energy wherever you go. It's almost like but bottle it up and you can bring it and sprinkle it wherever you go. The essence of that feeling can go anywhere, and that is the most beautiful thing about energy is we can bring it wherever we go. We can tap into it at any time. We can feel. One thing that you can do is will help you with that, if especially if you're a visual person, and we are very much physical, we like to do things, right? We like to touch things and do things. Is you can just get a spray bottle, um and fill it with any kind of water, any kind of mist. If it resonates with you, to charge it with the full moon, or if you can visualize that family home, or if you can get that bottle on the family home property, whatever resonates with you. And wherever you are, you can spray that water and bring that essence or bring that feeling, or you can simply visualize it, just visualizing how that felt and filling the space no matter where you are. And I love that idea so much because it doesn't necessarily even have to be the home. It can be a school. It can be the mall. It can be wherever you go. You can bring the essence of that space with you. I it's just so hard to predict that one, Horizon Phoenix, because there is such choice, and I feel like that choice is kind of like out of your control. So that's a really hard one to lean into, because it can go either way for me energetically. Not everything is written out on a tablet, as far as how things are going to go. And this is one of those big situations. All right, let me see. Congratulations, Lana. We all love you and appreciate you. Thank you so much, Jules. I love and appreciate every single one of you as well. Give yourself, give us permission to be us, permission to take care of ourselves. I love that. And it's a reminder, and we all need them. We all need reminders. You have been the voice of spirit. You opened my eyes and changed my life for the better. You are a leader in the spiritual community. Thank you, Kayla. I opened the door. I truly believe that people take their own steps. You can cheer for them, you can open the door, and each and every one of you have done your own spiritual work. And I'm so proud of each and every one of you. And it's an honor to open that door for all of you. Dee Dee, I set an alarm every hour to get up and breathe because I'm so busy micromanaging my life. I'd forget to breathe. Dee Dee, beautiful, beautiful spiritual practice and it's okay. That is stepping out of the micromanaging. That is giving yourself permission to come forward. That is giving yourself permission to breathe. I love that. And thank you for sharing your practice there, Dee Dee. It's a good thing. We become when you think about how robotic we do become. Even when you think about it, this morning when I overslept a little bit, and I got up and and I'm like, oh, this is different. I'm gonna go YouTube live and do the energy update on Sunday, but it's not Monday, right? You see, it's a very small simple thing. Today's a great day. It's a very small thing. We can become too much into a habit, right? Bubbles, if or shy, i- if he'd be here physically, he would have started a water balloon fight. I love that so much. I love the vibration of fun. And again, I see all your kind words in your chat. Thank you so much, you guys. And I'm really I really truly feel this. It was all of us. It was all of us. It was, each and every one of us brings an energy. Each and every one of us connects that way. So thank you so much. Crazy at work lately, says Tamara. It would be hard not to overthink when navigating when difficult people and first impressions for new leaders. So Tamara, one thing that I would kind of give you a little bit of something to chew on here, is preparing yourself for that crazy work energy. So you may not be able to change the energy and the people that are there, and the new leaders that are coming in, but you can prepare yourself for it. You can energetically bubble yourself. You can energetically let go. You can energetically step out. And a life is life too, and people are having their own experiences, and we all have to work, and we may not necessarily resonate with how things are going there. But increasing your spiritual practices will help you. And even like Dee Dee said, just having more of an awareness on your lunch break, or having more of an awareness of letting go of what doesn't serve you when you're on your way home. Putting on some spa music, or you're being a little bit more present on your way to work or on your way home from work will help navigate that. We have to navigate through the physical world. We have to navigate through corporate jobs, or any kind of job. We have to navigate through that. But how we navigate through that, we do have our own power in that, right? All right. Clearing out my closets feels like a huge load being lifted. I plan to only return a fraction back. The less I have, the better I feel. Good for you, Dee Dee. Good for you. Uh, look at you guys messaging Dee Dee. I love that. It's so hard to allow learning without shame and blame on myself. Yeah, because that's all programming. So when we're working through old programming, that kind of stuff comes up, and it's okay to acknowledge it, and it's okay to let it go, and it's okay to think about it. It's about giving yourself that permission, and to learn something. I'm learning, and I think to yourself for a minute. And I said this example before. When a toddler is learning how to walk, or a toddler is learning how to pick up their toys, or a toddler comes to you crying because they skinned their knee, or having a temper tantrum, or whatever it is, we don't go, "Oh, shame on you, you tripped and fell," right? Kind of talk to yourself that way. Kind of talk to yourself in that gentle way. I'm learning that right now, or ooh, that was a big one to learn, and soften how you talk to yourself. There's no shame in learning. And that's the whole process. That's the whole new version of you. That's the whole experience. Work on how you talk to yourself. And when you feel like you're shaming yourself or blaming yourself, come back into that space, right? Was I doing the best that I could with what I knew? Yep. Right. Or and sometimes we have to say, well, you know what? I wasn't in alignment. I myself have done that. You ever said something and you're like, "Oh, I can't believe I had I reacted that way. I wasn't in my heart space. I had a reaction." It's okay to apologize, and it's okay to say, I really didn't mean that," or "I wasn't in my heart space when I said that," or "I'm learning how to be more patient with myself," or "I'm learning how to be more patient with you." I've said that to the people in my life. If my partner has said to me like, "What the heck?" And I'm like, yeah, what the heck? I'm learning how to be patient with you while you're learning your lessons. It's true though, right? Have you, and because I'm learning how to be patient. Like you just change how you're communicating it within yourself. And sometimes it is hard, right? And I have done this before. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I can continue with you, but in a loving way. It's because other people are learning their stuff too. It goes both ways, and we have to remember that, right? And sometimes it's really hard to remember that. All right. Just whistle while you work. Yeah. Now I got the Seven Dwarfs in my head. Thank you for that, Shy. It's probably going to be what's going to be in there all day. I'll have to work to get at that song out of my head. If I have a dream of a loved one who passed away, is that a visitation from them? Absolutely, and you usually can feel that. Sometimes, we may have a dream and it's just a dream. Sometimes we have a dream and it's a message. When our loved ones visit us in that dream space, it has such a beautiful feeling, and it has such a healing sensation. Just to know that they pop by to say hello, just to know that they're letting us know that they're okay. Absolutely, visitation from dreams are quite common. The reason for that is because your brain is quiet, you're not overthinking it. So spirit is able to come in and have a chat with you because you're not overthinking it, you're not overstimulated. When I channel, it's like my brain goes to sleep, and I teach this to my mentoring students. So those students that are on here, I'm gonna share the that meditation or that visualization of I'm gonna have this Lana go sit over here. I'm gonna have just go have a seat brain over there so that I can quiet my brain enough to hear the spirit dimensions. And that's exactly what happens during your dream time. You're asleep. They can come in and they can have a lovely little chat because you're not overthinking it, or you're open enough to receive the message, because we're up here a lot as humans. When I channel and when I teach mediumship, that's exactly what I do, and that's exactly what I teach them. Have a seat right there. If I get in my head while I'm channeling, if I start to think about the message, then I just literally blink and I have a seat in my special spot right over here, or I'll visualize myself sitting on the beach or sitting on a mountaintop so that I can connect this way. Right. I hope that that helps you there, and thank you very much. I don't recognize your name, Mariama. So thank you very much for joining us here today. It's great to have you. Okay, here we go. Freya, yesterday I found a dead snake in my oak tree. It didn't feel too good, so I surrounded my space with love and light. Does spirit have any insight about this? So Freya, yes, I want to tap into this. Um, a few things that I pick up on this is number one, I feel it's a big reference to allow all versions of yourself go, allow things to fall back, allow things to allow yourself to step forward. I feel like either you've been struggling with transformation or you're holding yourself back from transformation, and the message is to let it go. Let things that don't resonate with you fall back, or let things, I'll use the word die off. It's okay to have that rebirth. I feel it's a big symbol for rebirth for you. I don't feel it as a darkness or anything like that. I feel like it's permission to grow. And I don't know if you've been holding yourself back from change or holding yourself back from transformation, but I feel like the universe is really trying to get your attention, that you're safe to do that. You're safe to allow yourself. You're safe to step out and kind of poke your head out and have a look around, and you're safe in your growth. So I don't know if you've been like shy with sharing, or shy with allowing yourself, or you feel really uncertain, like you're on uncertain ground. You're safe. That spirit's yelling that at me. You're safe to transform yourself, or to take new steps, or go in new directions. That is the big message there for you, Freya. And thank you for posting that. Maruna, thank you, Lana. Spot on about my worth. I gotta think better of myself. Start working on that. Okay, here we go. Easy Puff. My sister's kitten seems to maybe have some breathing issues. She's really tight on the money right now. Can you see what's wrong and how we can bring in healing for her? I really feel that this kitten may have a little bit of, I feel really puffy right here, right in my sinus area. I feel that this kitten may have some allergies. I feel like it may be like ground molds. I feel like environmental. I feel like there may be like a dust thing. I'm also seeing, is there a carpet in the house? I felt like I could see this carpet, and I feel like I need to acknowledge it. I feel like this may be an allergy related thing. I do feel it's going to pass. I'm not a vet, so I'm not sure what holistic stuff that you can give to the cat or help the cat. But I feel like the environmental that you can kind of get ahead of. And I understand vets are really expensive, but if it doesn't improve, I gotta lean you a little bit that way of getting that kitten checked out, because they are a little bit sensitive. I also feel like it smells. So is there a candle, or is there any incense? Is there any kind of sprays, chemical sprays or cleaners? Um, I'm seeing vents. So is there a connected, like either an apartment or an attachment or something coming in chemically? Like I just feel like there's environmental stuff that can be shifted a little bit. Switching to cleaning with vinegar and water or Norwex products. I feel like I've got to shift into more of an organic inside the house. That way, I think that that will help. I hope that that helps there. I'll be sending some healing energy there as well. Um, Winter Gem. Oh, another new name. Welcome. I have also been putting off my nursing entrance ramp for 3 years now because of my anxiety of not doing good in my nursing program. I've got to lean you into a little bit of that, and my nursing heart. I have a nursing background, so I'm cheering for you, and I understand how hard that is. But I feel though that you're ready. I feel that it's just like that last little push. I feel like I just have to go pink. I have to give you what do you call that? A pishnut? I have to feel like I've got to give you like that little flick of you're ready. I just got to give it to you. I've got to work on a little bit of that believing in yourself. I've got to sprinkle yourself with a little bit of pixie dust. I've got to bring in that magic within you. I've got to bring that out. I feel like you're ready, and I feel like I've just got to give you literally, it's like a little flick. It's like you're right there. Um, I also want you to know that you're supported. I want you to know that you are loved, that, regardless of the outcome, you're fine. Right? You're perfectly fine. I really feel I spirit keeps doing that. So I just literally have to do that for you, Winter Gem. And please know that we are all cheering for you and that you are held in the most loving vibration, supportive energy ever. Elementals are usually really nice beings. I don't know where people got the evil thing from. They won't appreciate it when you disrespect them in any way, of course, but that's only logical to me. The elementals, I love the elementals. I love the magic. I love the experience that I've had with them. I have never experienced anything nasty with the elementals. Shenanigans, yes. They are very playful. They come to bring the vibration of play. They come to bring the vibration of magic. And when you think about that, and they also come with a little bit of inner child healing energy as well. They do come to remind us that we don't have to grow up all the way. I've only ever had fun with the elementals. I've never had any aggressiveness there at all. Maybe a little, like I said, a little bit of fun shenanigans, but usually to get my attention. If the elementals resonate with you, absorb the magic. Just absorb the magic. And spirit overall, it, when you think about gratitude and when you think about support energy, I mean, spirit overall really, really enjoys that as well. Like I think it's a respectful thing and an energetic thing that's so important. But for me, the elementals have only ever been fun and magic, and I love that energy so much. It's so magical. It's just so magical. Thank you so much. I will ask her about the scents. I'm so grateful for this answer. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. There's something there, 100% easy puff with every time I tap into this kitten, I can feel my sinuses burning. So there's something there, and it may be we sometimes we don't realize how certain scents or even like with sprays. Like I gotta kind of like take all that away for a little bit, because I feel like there's a big sensitivity there. Like um even like perfumes and I feel like there's a big sensitivity there with that. I'll make sure we clean the carpet. So there is carpet there, okay? So that I felt that there was carpet and clean everything down extra. She is a clean person, but we don't know who did what in this new apartment. Okay. So easy puff. Thank you very much for the validation because I felt that connected living. I felt like there may be, like vents and stuff coming in. Um and the fact that there is carpet, this is like solid validation for me that I'm picking up the right information on this kitten. I really feel that and even though she's a clean person, it may be what she's cleaning with. Right. So just kind of ask her what she's cleaning with. I'm not sure where you're from, Easy Puff. I can't remember, but there's a lot of harsh vapors in like Mr. Clean or, cleaning products. I need to get her to lean the vinegar and water or Norwex products or even just like those micro cloths. I really feel that. And I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do about the apartment stuff. But if there's scents coming in, closing the vent off might also help a little bit there, even like temporarily or for parts of the day. Thank you for the validation, Easy Puff. I'm grateful to have that. Aaron, okay, Aaron, she's talking to Cheyenne. Okay. Um, Elementals are more chaotic than anything. They They have a very high frequency in the vibration of play and a little, chaotic. Yeah. Um, and you gotta remember too, sometimes we're fed things that aren't necessarily true. I mean, there's, there can storytelling. Sometimes there's been storytelling over hundreds of years, and sometimes that's exactly what it is entertainment basis. Entertainment basis. But I've never ever experienced anything outside of just shenanigans and fun energy. And when the elementals come to me, I know that I'm not leaning into magic enough, like, just like that playful imagination. Think about the vibration of young children, on how fun they are when they're like on the floor playing with their toys and talking to themselves and being, how that makes you feel. That's what the elementals, when I see them, that's what they remind me to do, is to just stay in that magic, just stay in that space of just pureness. That's what they remind me when I see them. And I don't always see them. If I'm going to see them, I usually see them in a specific forest that's fairly close to me. They just remind me of that, to be more playful. And and then again, with the seriousness of life, think about it. How many of us need to be more playful? Okay. Uh, you're very welcome, Easy Puff. Not to hug the question, but I have been hoping to find out if I have any kind of elementals or spirit guides, like fairies or Bigfoot or anything of those nature. Um, I feel like that playful energy is around you a lot, and I feel Easy Puff like it's been there for a long time. Our spirit guides do change up as we need to. If you feel magic around you, if you feel that there's a playful energy or you need to be more playful, embrace that. That's where I would kind of direct you. At the moment, that doesn't mean that they're not there. At the moment, I'm not picking up elementals around you. I'm picking up baby animals, like what, like little foxes, little bunnies, little baby birds. That's more of like almost like they're singing all around you. Is kind of how I'm feeling that. But if you're resonating there, embrace it. I always say that to people. I'm not going to know every single thing, every single guide, and every single energy that's around you. I just, when I lean in there, it's the baby animals for me at the moment, and I feel it's more of that new beginning, that new playfulness, that it's okay to be a newbie, if that makes sense there. Um, all right. Before, when you were a nurse, did spirit show you some people's oh, this is a good question, spotty TY. So, I still currently have a nursing license. I do some casual work here and there to maintain that nursing license. I worked very hard for it, so I'm not ready to retire it yet. I went into nursing, spotty, and thank you for asking something about me. I appreciate that. I went into nursing to cover up what I do, to work with spirit without anybody knowing, and to be able to use what I do to help people in a very quiet way. So, for example, spirit would show me when it was time to call family in, that someone was, ready to pass. Spirit would show me that. Spirit would help me with my nursing and help me bring that magic into what I do. Um I when people are passing, I can see like a death fog. I can see loved ones coming around them. I'm also able to tap into, from the medical world. If we're not looking in the right place, spirit would show me, you need to order this test or that test, and I would simply say to the docs, what do you think about ordering this test? I really, and they would, for the most part, they would follow that direction. So I got really good at hiding what I do that way, and that's how this all started for me. Was I kind of did it very quietly, and to a great benefit. I still use the medical mediumship piece. I still do that when I feel, even with my clients, I'll do It's like a spiritual scan, it's like a spiritual CAT scan, and I'll simply say, "I'm feeling this. Does that resonate? Yeah, my shoulder is really sore." I'm like, "Yeah, I feel like a spot there. It's energy." And I have said this to people. I'm not sure if anybody who has had me say this to them. I have said, "Please go see your doctor and talk to them about this." And they message me back with, "Lana, oh my gosh." So I have had this connection for a very long time and used it in my occupation. Um, and it was a beautiful way for me to start to, right? It was a beautiful way for me to be able to build that trust and to be able to lean in there. And again, Spotty, thank you for asking about me. That's really kind of you. Um, let's do a few more. I lost my spot. Okay, here we go. PJ, Lana, my great grandma passed 30 years ago. Of all the readings I've had, she's never come through, and I've never been able to connect with her. Curious as to why and if she has a message. So PJ, yes, there is a reason. So sometimes, and so we always, when we go for a reading, the messages that we get are always so profound with what we needed to know in that moment in time. I feel like your grandmother, and it doesn't matter how long they've been gone. I've channeled people that have been gone 100 years. Like that's they had a message that they needed to give. I feel like the messages that you needed to get needed to come from another energy or another space. I feel that she has a very supportive energy of supportive guidance. I feel like she walks behind you and just kind of leans in when you need the support the most. I also feel energetically with her, I feel like she has more of a support, more of a vibration of leaning in versus messages. I just feel that's the way she works. I also feel that you do connect with her. So I feel like you either think about her or ask her questions. Because I can feel that. I can feel that awareness there. I just feel that she is more of a supportive energy than a communication energy. It's kind of, and it is kind of interesting because when I lean in there, that's what she's giving me. I'm more of that space of support versus speaking. So I'm just curious, easy PJ. I'm just curious if when she was living, if she was more of a supportive person versus a person that told you what to do. I'm just curious. Souls when they cross over are often similar to how they were in the physical world, and quite often they're not, right? Because they're no longer that version of themselves. That soul's no longer human. But I just feel like this was a part of her. I don't feel like she was a chitty chatty person, with advice. It's more like, I'll support you through that. I'll hold your hand through that. It's gonna be okay. It's kind of the end. I feel like she was that kind of energy. That's how she feels to me. And sometimes, and remember, and I'll just add this piece as more of knowledge. Mediums don't have a phone line up, right? I can't say I can ask. It doesn't mean I'm going to get that spirit, but we don't have a phone line to say, can you send down mom, right? The messages that come forward from spirit is, and sometimes I don't even know who I'm talking to. That's the other thing. And they're like, oh my goodness, that sounds like my mom. And I'm like, I don't feel a mother energy at all. I can just feel the words in the message, and I don't overthink that. Sometimes it's like we clients will get so focused on who is it, the message all makes sense, but who's actually giving that to me? And it's like, you've got to just trust that it's spirit, because we don't have that. Can you come down and have a chat? I wish it was that easy, but we get what we need to hear, and sometimes we just don't pick up on it. They're around us, and sometimes they're just not connecting with us, or sometimes it's like we're just not feeling them, and it doesn't mean that they're not there. That's the thing. They're always there. It's just that we may not always connect with them. Make sense? Okay. Um, There already Fae nearby where I live. Janine, the Fae energy is everywhere. They are the magic everywhere. They do connect more to forest energy, um, garden energy. They are very much connected to that kind of energy. I have seen fairies come in. I have seen them indoors, but they are more of an outdoor energy, and they are everywhere. They're everywhere. Um, Bubbles, I do that most of the time, not letting people know I help them through channeling things. Beautiful. I've always loved magical things, and I love kids and animals especially. I've been watching a lot more baby animal videos because they keep popping up in my feed. Oh, I love that. There's a forest nearby. I'm seeing a pine tree or something. It looks to be short. Oh, Bubbles is helping me, or Shy's helping me out there. Thank you. Jules, I've had a lot of fatigue. I'm wondering if it's being caused by new medication I'm on, or lingering COVID symptoms. I've had COVID a couple weeks ago. I do feel it's your physical body. I do feel I don't feel terrible with it though. I feel like I need to listen. I feel like I do need to take that rest. I do need to be able to tap into there. I also feel though that this is even if I push back, the spirit's pushing me back a little bit, Jules, before the new medication and before the COVID, I feel like you were running on fumes then. I feel like not being well is kind of like the energy that you kind of needed to get you to slow down and to rest. I really feel that quite strongly there. Just take the break. I get it. Just take the break, right? Just kind of acknowledge it. I need to take that break. I need to let my body absorb this medication. I need to, but your body's speaking. Our body speaks to us. So you've got to listen there. No, you're welcome, PJ. Hugs rocked us on the rocking chair. Oh, there you go. So PJ, thank you for the validation on that. Absolutely. So that's how she will communicate. It's that presence, it's that awareness, it's that energy. And that's how she's working now. So, sometimes when we're channeling, we're listening and quite often we're not necessarily feeling. So when you asked me to tap into there, I tapped into how she feels, and that's how she felt. So there you go, PJ. I'm glad that Lana, if you could live anywhere, where would it be? Have you traveled a lot? I've always wanted to go to Salem. I've been to Salem. I have been to Salem, Kayla. I have traveled a fair bit. There is some more travel coming for the Hawk and I. There will be an announcement coming soon. Kim and I are working on some travel opportunities. Um, where would I live? That is a really good question. I haven't seen the entire world yet. But where would I live? I would love a little house, like a little, I don't want to use the word cottage. I want to use like a little mini home. I would have a little mini home tucked into like a mountainside with a view of an ocean or water, but very secluded, like a little hobbit house. I would love a little hobbit house in a forest. In a mountainside overlooking the water. So I guess I would have it all. I'm very pulled. I have not been there yet, but it is very much in the works. I am very pulled to Ireland. I am, so I will be planning something. I just may have let a little secret out. I would have to be like in that kind of energy, right? So anything Celtic is huge for me. So I would say kind of that kind of energy. But I would love like a little. I can even see a little door kind of easing into like a little hobbit house into a mountainside. Wouldn't that be fun? Salem. I want to touch base on that, Kayla, because when I went to Salem, the energy there is it takes a little bit of work to tap into. It is, and I get it. There's a vibration of tourism, but you have to push yourself outside of the vibration of tourism to feel the real story in Salem. So what I did when I went was I went off the beaten path, and I felt the energy to get to the truth when I was in Salem, because it has been saturated with um, what's the word I want to use? It's been saturated with a lot of vibration of creating a story that wasn't 100% true. So what I did when I went, I literally just I didn't go into the witch's wax museum, and to me there was a little bit of hokiness there, and I just went off the beaten path. And I did go and sit in the cemetery under an incredible tree, and I just felt the energy, and I asked the spirits there to tell me the truth. So that is what I did when I was in Salem. Then I met this lovely man, and I'm not sure if he still has his shop there because I was there. Oh my gosh, 10 years ago. It was for my 40th birthday that I went to Boston and Salem. So that's 10 years ago. So anyway, I found this Tibetan shop, and this elderly Tibetan man, and I walked into the shop, and it was so magical, but it was very, very cluttered, like a very old bookstore would be, and it was full of treasures. And I spent so much time there chatting with him, and just holding the space for him, and him holding the space for me, and having some most delicious spiritual conversations. And I bought a ring from him. I'm not wearing it. I don't have any rings on today. But I bought a ring from him that was antique, and had an incredible story. And it was like a powerhouse energy. But any place that you go to, so no matter where you travel, no matter where you go, just kind of feel into the energy. I always say to spirit, like show me what was here, help me feel what was here. I do that everywhere I go. And Salem had a very delicious feeling. My heartstrings were pulled in Salem because there is a story there with the Salem witch trials. A lot of it was true. A lot of it has been changed and shifted, and their story was never fully told. So I was able to tap into the vibration there. Um, when I was there, I didn't have the YouTube channel, so I've never done a video on it. I would love to go back and maybe do a video on it. That would be a delicious experience. And Boston is I love Boston. Boston has a very fun energy for me. I'm also a big Boston Bruins fan, so that's a part of it. That is a part of it. But I love the energy of Boston, and perhaps there is a past life there that I connect to because it's incredible. Thank you for asking that question. That was a really good question. I also want to go to New Orleans. I've been to New Orleans. I love New Orleans. Another fascinating space energetically. And Hawaii for me was absolutely like life changing. The energy when I went to Hawaii. San Francisco was another place for me that I was really taken back. The other thing for me was when I went to Barcelona. When I went to Barcelona, I when I landed there and I started walking around, I had this space of, oh, this is home. And I also have that same feeling in St. John's, Newfoundland. Whenever I go to St. John's, Newfoundland, I cry when I leave. And I'm not from there. I don't like in this lifetime. I'm not from there. But I literally feel like my heart. There's something in my heart that stays. So when I go to St. John's, Newfoundland, it's in Canada, it's just such a profound, moving energy for me. And I also truly feel that when I'm there, I just feel this sense of belonging. I just feel like I belong there so much. I love culture, which is the other thing. I love anything to do with culture, and I love to go back to the ancient times when I'm there. So anything to do, like I've when I was in the UK, any of the castles when I was in Germany, like the energy there. I did struggle in Germany in with the history there. I really, really struggled energetically there. There were parts that I couldn't even step into, and and the people that I were with were looking at me, but this is history, and it's like, but the energy here for me, I can't move through it. um so I have had some interesting reactions when I travel because I do connect to what was there as well as to what is there currently, and that's the piece for me, right? So what a cool conversation. um you just scroll back up, there's a lot of questions, and we are over an hour mark. I'm gonna have to let you guys go soon. I also okay. If I go to New Orleans, I will not go to the tourist shops. I want to connect to the people who have stories. That is exactly what I do when I travel, Kayla. So I really try to, yes, it's some of the tourist stuff I'll peek into, but I don't feel the energy the same. I feel like it's been too watered down. So I like to, and I'm a cemetery person. Not because of it's the energy and the story that's there. Like spirit is not on the ground, like they're not in their tombs, but this or their graves, but the story is there, right? I feel like for me, it's like you can tap into their energy and their story, or anything that hasn't been too watered down. That's what I tend to do when I travel. Is I love to go off the beaten path. I love to talk to the locals. I love to go to where they're like where things like where life happened for them. Um, That's my experience with travel, and that's what I really love. Um, and I've had some incredible. I usually end up reading in any in places like that. I usually end up channeling, and it's I it just kind of cracks open such an interesting energy. Um, and then the Hawk and I will be we do have so Kim and I have been doing some planning, some travel planning. There are really cool things coming up. And if there's ever an area that that you live in that you would like to see me come to, feel free to send us a message. I mean, you know, the world is full of possibilities and I never pinch anything off. So over the next couple years, that is my long-term goal is to be doing more tours. So and it's just the space and the timeline that I'm at. When my kids, I've got one more that's still in school, but when they find their way and they're off doing their thing, the Hawk and I will be doing some incredible traveling. It's going to be time to shift when that happens. All right, you guys, I do have to get going. I'll take a few more here. Brian, I have not felt drawn to travel to see something, but now change my mind to travel to see, but to feel it. Yeah, it's more of the feeling, it's more of the energy there, Brian. It's you know, and I think there's when you think about it for a moment, think about where you live. Think about what it would feel like to someone in 100 years. The physical world is going to change, and it is, you know, it's always changing, it's always expanding. So when you think about people coming and feeling the energy of where we're at, right? That I go to feel things. I go to experience the feeling of it. Touch is a big way of doing it. If you know, if you're able to touch you know, a wall or touch the ground, being able to tap in and how does it feel? And you can practice that. You don't even have to travel it. So, Brian, you know, I know where you live. So if you go out to the streets of where you live and just close your eyes and tap into the energy there, you'll be surprised at what you feel from 100 years ago. You don't have to necessarily go far to feel that. I do that all the time. What do I feel here? What's communicating with me here, or what do I know here? You know, it's the kind of like that space, right? I always hear my name being whispered, and I don't know who it is. Dark Raven. I really feel it's spirit guides, and I have to plural that. I feel like your spirit guides are really reaching out to let you know that they're with you. The other thing here that I need to ask you is sometimes I think it's a little more than sometimes. Let me reword that. Um, do you feel like this loneliness or alone that you can't kind of shake? Because I really feel like you're being supported. I really feel that you need to really lean into that energy of you are never alone. There's just this feeling for me. Um, Melanie. Hello, beautiful. My life is changing so much right now. Any insight on my future or guidance? Mel, I need you to tap into what I said. I'm just going to flip my page over here to what I talked about. I really feel I'm not sure when you logged into to the live, but Spirit pointed down to my sheet, out of your head and into your heart with the goal with the flow energy. Really lean into just that allowing, that transformative state. You're going to align to exactly where you're supposed to be. I need to get you to allow it. And I know that you work on it. I know it's that final little push, that final little in you go to allowing that without, and the word micromanaging is coming up again. You know, just allow that, right? You are so in tune, you are so in touch, you are so there. I just have to kind of allow it a little bit more. I also feel, Mel, hello, madam. I feel like, you know, that dancing, what was that? Was that a dancing cricket? Somebody help me. I think it was a dancing cricket or dancing frog. I really feel like I've got I know I'm trying not to laugh at spirit. Sometimes they really catch me off guard and all I can do is chuckle. Now I really feel like I've got to get you into that space, into that movement, into that fun, into that allowing, into that hello, my darling. Hello, my baby. I need to get you into that space. It's really a weird reference. I'll have to look that one up. I want or sit with it a little bit more. I can always message you. Crystal, hello, my baby. Hello, my dolly. Hello, my ragtime gal. Thank you, Crystal. Thank you very much. Was it I that's awesome. Um, it was very sporadic, and spirit often does that for me, and it takes my physical brain a minute to catch up to what they're trying to get me to. But Mel, that is, and let's look up the frog. Maybe it's a frog reference. Let's just look up the spirit animal frog for Mel here. All right, do a physical cleanse, detoxify your body, do an emotional cleanse by letting yourself really feel your emotions and cry as much as you need to in order to clear or release any emotional toxicity. Singing or chanting. Yeah, singing or chanting. I love it. Singing or chanting out loud will help you feel more balanced, at peace, connected to the divine. You're entering into a time of plenty and abundance. Oh, so Mel, have you been kind of worrying about what if this doesn't work? What if there's not enough money? Oh, because that I love that. Um, this is the start of a slow and steady transformation process for you, a movement from the old life to a new one. If you hear a frog during the daytime, it will rain very soon. Holy cow. So this is a perfect example. So this is a perfect example of starts joking limiting. No. So here's the thing. And this is a good example of how spirit works. So it wasn't necessarily a reference to the song. It was to get me to open the book to the frog, and spirit literally and literally did that to me. I couldn't resist it. It was like they took over. I It was like sporadic. It was that this is what I need to get to say. And when you open it, it's exactly what the when you think about that dancing frog. um do an emotional cleanse by letting yourself really feel your emotions and cry as much as you need to. Singing or chanting. So that's exactly what I did, right? I was singing the song, even though the words were not coming to me as clear. And this is the start of a slow and steady transformation. I really feel when you look back at what we talked about, Mel, you're really in alignment here with the new beginnings, the transformation, the alignment to go with the flow energy there. That's exactly. And spirit gave me that dancing frog to get me to give you some more validation. I love that so much. Woohoo! And if that resonates to anybody else, please pick it up as well. I was singing that song recently. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Thanks. I mean everything. It means everything to me to know that for a while. That's weird. I had a dream with a bunch of frog decorations in it. Wow. Look at Shy. Starts jokingly imitating frogs for no reason. But that's how spirit works. That's literally so it's literally that connection of this, and that's why I needed to go there. That's why they gave me that feeling. That's why they gave me that song. That's why they brought me the frog, was to get me to hear, because that probably resonates very well in Mel. Oh, here she is. Yes, I have been stressed and worried over the future. I really needed to hear this. Sending my love and gratitude. You're welcome, Mel. And that's how quite often spirit works. And I think that sometimes what people struggle with the most is, why isn't it the same communication as we have here? Well, they're in another dimension. And that's the other thing. I'm listening to another dimension, or I'm going over into another dimension, and they think and they feel and they act very differently than we do here. Oh, I love that. All right. I'm having a hard time saying goodbye to you guys today. My grandfather would always sing songs like this. There you go, Mel. Another reason, again, I didn't pick up on Mel's grandfather. I also didn't try, though. I didn't try channeling. I was just listening to what she knew, what she needed to hear. Um, so that would be an example, like I talked about earlier. Sometimes I don't even know who the message is from. Um, Mel said my grandfather would always sing songs like that, like this. That's a prime example on how mediumship sometimes works. Sometimes it's very crisp and very clear. Sometimes it's like this name, that name, this is how they pass, this is how it works. Other times it's this is the song that's coming to my head and I don't know why. Right? What a cool example. Thank you. It's gonna thank them. Thank you. That's a cool example, right? Okay. I'm just looking up for some questions here, or some validation, just if I need to touch base on anything else that I said. If the world never calms down enough, it would be incredible to see Europe as a whole. The art, the historical sites would be amazing to see. Janine, I know I have barely skimmed the surface on traveling Europe. I have been to, a few places. And I have to agree, it is absolutely profound in the historical sites. There's also a lot of Canada that I haven't seen yet that is on my list to travel to. I haven't seen all of my own country. So that is also something that I really want to do. One province at a time or one place at a time or wherever I'm pulled. I haven't seen all of Canada. So there's so much to see and so much energy that we can tap into and explore. And I do love to explore. So that is always so delicious for me. Um, and sometimes, if I can't get there, if there's a place that for whatever reason I can't get there, I will research and feel the energy and read the history. And sometimes we can't afford to go, for whatever reason we're just not able to. You can tap into places energetically as well, and let's not forget that. Being able to like, I'm fascinated by ancient Egypt. I love the energy there. I haven't been there for whatever reason, for a few reasons, but I will research and sit with the energy and visualize myself there and tap into it that way as well. Okay, here we go. Okayla, I agree. Lana, do you connect with the indigenous spirits when you travel around Canada? I would love to hear any messages they have for us. I feel we need to listen to their wisdom. Kayla, I'm very deeply connected to the indigenous energy at a few, and I'm also learning. I've also spent some time, last summer was one of them. I spent some time with some indigenous healers up in French River. So I am continuing to learn. There is a big indigenous reference in my personal life as well. So I am always learning and tapping into that wisdom, into the elder energy. I have done a sweat lodge. I did a sweat lodge last summer, and well before COVID as well. With the indigenous energy and connecting with the land and the nature, I'm big on the energy of the land and the nature and being able, the nature spirits, and so are the indigenous people. My drum that I have that I work with, was gifted to me from an indigenous elder as well. I am still learning a lot. There's a lot to learn there. I have great respect for that energy and for the indigenous culture, and for all culture. And there's so much to learn, and there's so much to that's delicious there. I do go to powwows. I frequent powwows, a couple times during the summer. Wherever I am, I always like to look up, is there an indigenous powwow? Um, as it's just so profound, it's very moving, and to see that. And here's the other thing: to see that culture gaining momentum and taking their power back is beyond physical world words. It is beyond physical world words. That culture is, really healing and really gaining momentum and really speaking their truth. It's profound, the healing energy there. um I don't share too much about my personal life or about people in my personal life, but there is huge indigenous connection to someone I love very much. I do need to get moving. Exactly, there are no physical world words. I'm so proud of the indigenous communities that stand behind them. Absolutely. Kayla, I get very emotional when it comes to the indigenous culture. It's just so profound, and the healing work that they do and the knowledge that they have. Right, I resonate there very, very deeply. Um, I'm gonna miss you tomorrow. My Monday will be very different without coming on. 1 hour and 20 minutes here. We are wrapping up at. I'm going to switch over to the books. Oh, the angel number book wasn't where it usually is. There we go. So let's go into the numbers. What do we need to know for the upcoming? Let's go for the upcoming week. Um, there we go. 245. The angels have helped you orchestrate positive changes, which are bringing great blessings into your life. The changes again, you guys. That reference, that new beginnings, the changes. 245. Have a read. The angels have helped you orchestrate positive changes, which are bringing great blessings into your life. Okay, here we go. The llama. I do love llamas. And what's really funny, I know you can't see it, and I'm not going to stand up. I'm wearing pink llama pajama bottoms. It's so all right. All right. The llama. It's been a long haul, but you're just about there. So hang in there. Volunteer some of your time by being in service to someone or by working with a service type organization. Move slowly and steadily towards your goal and be assured that you're on solid footing. Ready for this one? Take time for yourself, which may require that you turn down requests from others for your time or assistance. Seek out the company of others who share similar interests and activities rather than spending so much time alone. Wow, what a delicious morning. What a delicious morning. I'm seriously wearing pink llama pajama pants. There we go. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? And I don't remember. I know. I mean, I can't remember every single animal book that every animal spirit guide that we've done on the channel. But I don't remember. I don't remember the llama coming up before. I love it so much. I love it so much. Easy Puff. I saw two llamas yesterday too, and I don't usually see llamas, and I love llamas. That's funny. I bought I bought Lana socks today, and now I know I love them even more. Oh, I love so funny. That's so funny. You gotta love the humor. I used to do that during online school. I wore a hoodie on top and my pajama pants. That's so funny. Well, I'll tell you what happened this morning is, and I can hear the movement upstairs now. I don't usually just wear pajama bottoms this late in the day, but today I felt that energy of that going with the flow and just allowing. And I'm always the first one up. And this morning, even though I slept in, everybody else was still sleeping too. So I had my shower and my hoodie was hanging up downstairs. I didn't want to go back into the bedroom to wake anybody up or wake somebody up. So I just literally put on my pajama pants again. But that is so funny. Oh my gosh, I love it. Spirit's been hilarious today between the dancing frog and all the laughing and all the energy today. That is quite awesome. Have a wonderful week. Um, I'm not 100% sure. Let me see what Wednesday will look like. It's kind of yeah, it's going to be a maybe. I will do. I'm just going to allow what needs to be for Wednesday morning. I will try to be here, but I'm not sure how this is going to work out. I'm 100% not here tomorrow. I'll be leaving home probably around 7:30 in the morning for a little mini road trip. So that's why I was on this morning, and that's why I spent a little bit more time because I may not be here on Monday or Wednesday, but we'll see how that goes. And I think that is in alignment with this go with the flow. I just have to go with the flow. I don't know, right? I'm just going to allow. Take good care. As always, I'm wishing you love, light, blessings, and have a spirit guided week. And thank you again so much, you guys, for being so loving and so supportive, and for cheering for me and for cheering for each other. Right, this community is just so profound, and I'm so grateful to have you here. I love you guys. Take care.